Well, my vision was basically to be a, successful
Hmm.
uh, person, individual.
Right.
My vision was to contribute to the society.
Right.
My vision was to make this young India much
Right.
younger, much more younger.
That's very
And my vision was to enjoy life and make others enjoy life along with me.
a lot of experience you have. क्या मैटर करता है, टेक्निकल स्किल या सॉफ्ट स्किल?
The first thing which is required in this non-technical skill is your ability. Do you have the confidence? Do you have the self-belief? Do you have the ability to take people with you?
Right.
Do you have the ability to communicate effectively with your team,
Right.
inspire them,
Influence.
lead them,
Right.
leadership? And I'm not the only one today. There are a lot of corporates now, they are coming to business schools, they're sharing their knowledge, they're spending their time with the students, they're mentoring them on
Right.
various aspects. Now, this is a change happening now. I think that one of the most mistakes people make a lot of times that you raise money, but you don't get the right team. And if you don't get the right team, the struggle carries on. The
Right.
organizations don't grow, and organizations flounder, struggle, and maybe at times close down.
Okay, so hi audience, we are here from Edshire and we started this podcast series for our learners, our community, so that they can understand and build the gap between corporate and college. This is not only for those who have required jobs, this is also for entrepreneurs. This is also for those who want to learn from corporate leaders, from academicians, and from different people who achieved a lot in their life. So right now our first guest is Mr. Kaunakar Jha. He's a successful entrepreneur. He's also an academics. So let's hear about his journey from his own words. Mr. Kaunakar Jha, please आप क्या अपनी जर्नी के बारे में थोड़ा सा बताएंगे हमारी ऑडियंस को?
Sure, Tanzil. Thank you very much. Firstly, I must congratulate you on your new venture which you started and brand Edushire. And I must say that it's a wonderful idea that you have started. And I'm sure that going forward, we will discuss again maybe after 1 year.
For sure.
And we'll be talking about how successful your journey has been.
Thank you very much.
So, and maybe you'll be doing the podcast and I'll be doing your interview.
Thank you. For sure.
You're 1 year from now. And I'm sure that's not too far away. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak to your audience and tell them about my journey. Well, I'm an MBA. I started my corporate life and I worked with companies, leading brands, both in dairy, in FMCG, in media. And I also had my own startup in the early part of 2000 when the internet boom had started in India, but it became a bust very soon. So I was part of that journey. And of course, after all that, I took a shift to my academics. And looking back, I feel wonderful because I feel today I have really had a wonderful exposure of various sectors. I worked with great people, learned a lot of aspects of marketing, business, strategy, failure, getting up, succeeding, a whole lot of stuff which normally one would not get such an exposure if you don't take those chances in life. Life could be just a simple exercise. You could stay in a company and carry on and grow. But I thought life would not be as exciting and adventurous if I don't try different sectors, if I don't leave and look at, understanding how different product and different services, different industries operate. So frankly, if I look back today and I feel there's a lot to do, I think the journey has just started. I feel sometimes, that, there's so much to do in today's time, so much is happening. I feel today that for a young person like you, Tanzil, and so many others who are hearing me here, is that there's so much to do here. A lot is happening in the world, and this is a great time for entrepreneurship.
Right.
Uh, Taking a job is probably the easiest thing to do in today's time.
Right.
But taking the a journey of entrepreneurship probably will be the most exciting journey one would like to take. But I will discuss as we move forward.
Right.
It is not something which you should do it because others are doing it.
Hmm.
This is something where you have to understand the meaning of entrepreneurship and what exactly lies in store for any individual as an entrepreneur. So frankly, I would say my journey has been wonderful, and I'm very excited now for looking forward to my future journey now, which probably is going to be more exciting than
For
the
sure.
past has been.
For sure. Even you make our journey to, totally, we can say, in an immersive way, totally unique. Uh, that's what I learned many things from you, sir. दूसरा चीज हम जानना चाहते हैं that you were in corporate, right? और उसके बाद you shift into academics. Why is that? ये shift क्यों?
Well, Sanjal I thought is very, very natural. Because what happens is that what exactly is the difference between learning and then passing on the learning to the young people who are going to face the world. I felt while I was doing this journey of corporate and I was meeting young people, recruiting them for my companies, I felt there is a lot of gap in understanding their understanding, what the corporate needs are.
Right.
And which is a big, big concern for any individual, because if you're not able to address the gap, you are doing your management study, but if you're not able to study what is required in the industry, and if you're not getting ready in the same manner, probably you'll have a very difficult start. And keeping that, so I was interviewing students, I was interviewing, some people were slightly more experienced, and I felt there is a lot of practical knowledge lacking, a lot of realities of the corporate sector, which are not being passed on to the students in terms of, various aspects of especially marketing and business. The two aspects of business, very important. And no better to explain to the student than somebody who has been through.
That's great.
Somebody who has been through it, who has done it, who has probably failed also quite a few times. And because the person has failed, the person has learned it the hard way and would like to pass that to a student. So a student doesn't really make those mistakes what the corporate has made. So I found this to be a transition which I must make, and I must pass on this particular experience of mine, having been in top brands, top corporates, to the young people. And I felt when I did this move, I could see the change happening, because the students and the academic community really appreciated that change. They felt that, yes, this is one thing which is required. And today we find, as we are talking today, Denzel, we find that I'm not the only one today. There are a lot of corporates now, they are coming to business schools, they're sharing their knowledge, they're spending their time with the students, they're mentoring them on various aspects. Now, this is a change happening now. I was probably early, and probably that's the reason why I felt there's a gap. Now, of course, it is being addressed. It's a long way to go. Still, we are in the early days. It's a long way to go, because the number of students are a lot many than the corporates which can come and talk to them. So I felt that was the reason. Ultimately, in life, you have to give it back.
Right.
And it's not about only yourself. You have to look at the young community, you have to look at the society at large.
That's true.
And that's when you'll feel more satisfied, when you're giving back to the community which needs your experience most. And I felt that was the reason why I felt it was very natural for me to get into this academic life. And frankly, it's been a very, very, learning for me also. Because it's not a very, something which I thought will be easier to understand. It is something where I need to also to adapt myself as an
Mm.
academician so that I could pass on the entire information in a particular manner. It
Mm.
has to be passed on properly. You just can't share your experience in a manner that people will just understand what you did. There is
Right.
a way to do it, and
Right.
you have to find a methodology or a pedagogy, you can call it in academic world, so that this is passed on to the student, so the student can learn from that particular experience. So that was the reason why Denzel, I thought it's a good time to move into academics.
That's really true, because there is a huge gap between students and corporates, and if the people like you will be there, so this gap will be filled in between students and the corporates, so they can understand what is the reality in aspects, right? So they can build the
Right.
skills as well. Sir, there is one thing that I always heard, ke vision, your vision must be on the right place. तुम्हारा vision तुम्हें बनाएगा, right? So what was your vision when you were young, teenager, in school or in college? What was your vision?
Well, my vision was basically to be a successful
Hmm.
uh, person, individual.
Right.
My vision was to contribute to the society.
Right.
My vision was to make this young India much
That,
younger, much more younger.
that's right.
And my vision was to enjoy life and make others enjoy life along with me. I didn't have any tall, aspirations of making $1 billion. I didn't put it in numbers, in terms of numbers, but this is what my vision was. Very simple. The
Right.
simplicity was basically to make life meaningful for others around me. And that's what my vision was. Because I realize today that the more difficult you make your vision, the more confused you get, and
Yep.
the longer it takes to achieve your vision. So I think my vision is still not achieved. I'm still on my journey,
Right.
and I'm sure, and maybe another, I think, maybe 5 years, maybe another 10 years. I
Hmm.
don't know.
Hmm.
It may be possible, or
Right.
may not possible also. But I'll
Right.
certainly reach somewhere down the line where I have decided to, reach myself.
Right. That's great. That's really great. The vision. That's why you are much more, I can say, active than the younger audience in itself. And that's really great, sir. There is one thing, sir, we want to know, the audience wants to know, that a lot of experience you have, क्या मैटर करता है, टेक्निकल स्किल या सॉफ्ट स्किल in this whole life? What did you think that ये ज्यादा important रखता है, soft skill या technical skill?
See, I'll tell you, before you come to that, there is something else.
Hmm.
I also feel today you must have a certain people in front of you as inspiration.
That's true.
You must, before you move into the real world of entrepreneurship, you must look at role models in front of you.
Right.
And I had three very different, distinct role models in
Right.
my life.
Right.
One was, of course, Sachin Tendulkar,
That's good. Sachin
a
Tendulkar.
cricketer.
Yeah.
I'm a very big cricket buff,
Master of it.
and I feel that cricket is a religion in India,
Yeah.
and I grew up with this sport.
Hmm.
Second was a very highly successful actor called Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, and third was, of course, one of the famous entrepreneurs in the world called Steve Jobs.
Wow.
So I had three of these people were my role models. I adapted myself, and some were younger, some were older, but that didn't matter to me. But all these three people inspired me a lot. You look at these three people today in front of you, and look at their achievements in life today.
That's true.
They're all successful,
Right.
but they all went through their journey in a
Right.
different manner altogether.
Right.
None of them had a similar journey.
Right.
All of them have a different journey. But bottom line, they are always successful end of the day in what they were doing. They didn't change their line. They didn't look at something else.
Right.
They stuck to their vision.
Right.
They stuck to their objective. And they're till today, brand name of Steve Jobs, he may not be there physically, but he's alive through Apple.
Right.
Shah Rukh Khan has gone through most difficult times in life.
Right.
But today he come back, he's still going strong.
That's true.
People wrote him off and he's there basically. And
Basically.
Sachin Tendulkar, at the least, the lesser I say, the better. The man who created a certain type of cricket, purely, and of course, lasted so long. He had so many ups and downs in the journey. So, you got to have role models like these. And they didn't start because they were born to be actors,
Right.
born to be cricketers, or
Right.
born to be successful entrepreneurs.
Right.
They started. They started because they were clear. They were clear what
Right.
they wanted to do. And
Right.
that's so every young person should have a role model in front. You
That's
must have a role model.
that's
It could
true.
be your father, could be your brother, could be anybody, any of the celebrities or successful people. But you
Right.
got to have a role model or a guru, you can call it, in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, because I think that this is one of the major parameters or factors that inspires you to do something, right? Because
Yeah.
they did something,
Yeah.
and that's one of the factors. So, sir,
Yeah.
that's really great input you shared with us. To have the first point I want to say to the audience: note this, have a role model in your domain or in your stream you want to work, right? And coming back to that question, sir, okay, what do you think that technical skills or soft skills, right, in your life, you think कि ये matter करता है? Not only for entrepreneurs, it's a general question for even for those who want to grab some job from some MNC or some big companies, right? तो क्या matter करता है, technical skills या soft skills?
Well, actually, I'll tell you one thing. To be honest, Denzel, I mean, you've been part of your management education yourself,
Right.
and you understand. You know, what we forget sometimes, and to a large extent sometimes, is that it is not about how much knowledge you have. That is your technical skill. How
Right.
much knowledge you have is not the important part.
Right.
How much of knowledge you are able to apply, and
That's
how much knowledge you want to apply requires your skills which are not technical. Those
right.
are skills which are non-technical in nature.
That's
And,
correct.
and that's why reason I'm saying that today is the first thing which is required in this non-technical skill is your ability
Right.
to first and foremost understand
Right.
how will I take this journey forward as a person. Do you have the confidence?
Hmm.
Do you have the self-belief?
Hmm.
Do you have the ability to take people with you?
Hmm. Right.
Do you have the ability to communicate effectively with your team,
Right.
inspire them,
Influence.
lead them?
Right.
Leadership.
Right.
Leadership, people think is very easy. It's the
Hmm.
most difficult thing to do is to lead individuals,
That's
because
true.
everybody has got their own likes, dislikes, or way of working. So, I feel today in today's world, people succeed not because they are technically qualified. They succeed
Right.
because they are non-technically qualified more. I mean, you take the successful people recent times around, they are very, very successful because they are effective leaders. And leadership is not technical.
Right.
Leadership is not about
Right.
how much you know. Leadership
Right.
is about how much you inspire others to deliver.
Right. Right.
And that's very, very important today. So I think individuals and especially entrepreneurs should
Hmm.
keep one thing in mind: develop a lot of non-technical skills,
Right.
body language,
Right.
icon, a lot of aspects of personality needs
Hmm.
to be developed.
Right.
I mean, most entrepreneurs today fail because they are not able to command the respect from the team a lot of times,
Right.
because they have great ideas. They have wonderful ideas. They have a great product. But what happens is the team doesn't feel the same. The
Hmm.
team doesn't connect with the individual.
Right.
And because the individual is not able to pass on that same kind of passion,
Right.
what what they go through. And
Right.
that is where I feel today that most important, like, you find a lot of debates are going on,
Hmm.
EQ versus IQ. I think EQ is where the focus should be, not. And most today organizations, I mean, the biggest talk going on is the CEOs today are the HR leaders. They are
Right.
the ones who are doing more of HR than any marketing or finance or any aspects of management
Hmm.
or AI. They're doing more of EQ. They are inspiring the team. they are making the team deliver the better. It's all about organization. It's not about an individual anymore. It's all about the organization. So that's the most critical part. All young people have to keep in mind that start looking at non-technical skills as the most important aspect now. If you want to succeed, either in corporate journey or as an entrepreneur. Or as an entrepreneur.
Right. And this, even I was about to share the point that you shared. Those who are highly successful, you can look to them. That's the soft skills which make them differ than the others, because that's not a technical skills. That's their communication. Absolutely. How they transform or transfer their idea to the others' mind, right? And they convince them to be with them or any other place. And that's not only for the entrepreneurs. That's also for the other people as well, right? Those who are in job, right? Because they have to collaborate with their team, they have to be leader, they have to grow in their job, right? And that soft skills which can help them in that aspect. So because you did this thing, is there any incident in your life that happened and which transformed you and which make you shift towards from that life to this life, right? I will do something, ये मेरा vision है. कोई ऐसा incident हुआ आपके साथ कि यार ये करना है मुझे, अब मैंने फोड़ना है life में?
If the life was, I'm missing something in my life. Sometimes you'll feel that probably the world is moving at a certain rate and you are probably moving at a slower rate. Right. And I felt today that I was looking around, I was reading, I was meeting people, and I felt today that maybe I should, get into something more different. Now, life was very easy. I mean, I would say life was very complete. And I didn't have to get into entrepreneurship and then followed by academics. A lot of my friends, a lot of my colleagues who are still in corporate, some of them have retired, some of them have started their own business. But what I felt today was that I think life is only one today. And if you don't push your life to experience other aspects of what's happening around you, you really don't feel that you are, able to get the best out of a life for yourself. So it happened one day. I was just, in my house, and I was talking to my son, and he asked me, and he told me, Dad, what exactly you think is been your success so far in life? And frankly, if you ask me, I didn't have any words. I said, nothing much. Life has been good. I did my MBA, I did my job, and made some decent money, and and that's it. And you guys are having a good time. But what did you do of your own? So anything of your own you did? I said, no, own. I don't realize I didn't do his own. So that kind of feeling which came to my mind, saying, why can't I have something I create of my own? Is it possible? Is it possible? Then I said, why not? Why is it not possible? Right. So we got together a handful of people who were passionate about an idea, and looked difficult. No, you guys are crazy. One of the things, Tanzila, you must have come through your life also. You must have come through this question by people who are around you, especially who are close to you. Hey, Tanzil, what are you doing, man? You're mad. You're crazy. Why are you doing this stuff? Why don't you just take up a job and settle down? Why doing this? So, you have to have this crazy feeling in your mind. Right. You have to have this mad feeling in your mind. Somebody has to call you're nuts. That is what happened to me. Right. I said, no, so what? You may feel, I want to do something different. Right. So that's what knocked me. I said, no, I must. And you won't believe it. I mean, it was not an easy decision to take. But I said, no, I must do this today. So, sometimes in life, you'll have these moments which will come to your mind. It'll come out of the blue sometimes. Right. And it'll just knock you. And only the person who goes through will realize what exactly one needs to do. And that's what I did. So that's it. The rest is history. That's really great. Even as you said that, even I heard many of these statements that, oh my God, you don't know what the success rate will be. There is too risk, right? So why are you getting involved in that? Let's go do this. And they have different bunch of ideas. And the one thing I want to say, if you have a clear-cut vision, please maintain that and work hard on that.
हार्ड वर्क we can say कि जो मेहनत की होती है ना वो कभी वेस्ट नहीं जाती. Hard work can never be on the wasted side. So one thing I want to ask you, okay, while this is for especially for entrepreneurs, while making a company, you built a huge company, you startup, right? While making a company, what major things require? I mean, not only on the financial side, I'm gonna ask. This is about कि एक entrepreneur को क्या क्या चीजें सोचना चाहिए कि ये चीजें मेरे factors में रहें, ये points मेरे list में रहें.
Sorry. Well, basically, one of the most important things is to have a good management team.
Yes.
Very, very important. One of the things you have to keep in mind today is that as an entrepreneur, we somehow feel that sometimes entrepreneurs are all alone. They're on their own. No. An entrepreneur, so you'll see every successful entrepreneur has a good team. Core team. Very important. Core team. Because today you need to, because if I take for your example, anybody for that matter, me, you, or anybody else, nobody can alone do things which are possible in an organization.
Totally.
You need to have experts in marketing. You need to have somebody with a very strong finance background, somebody with an operation background, and somebody with a very, very strong, ability to manage people on a larger aspect, to get the best people, talent, sourcing a talent from the industry or wherever possible. So, to have a good management team, because a core team is very, very important. So getting the right people, especially the core decision makers, is a very critical factor, which is very important. And of course, the most important part in here is that you must make your team believe in your journey. You must make them team believe. Money will be there. A lot of times finances, the plenty of money is being spent on a lot of organization building, but we don't know where the organization is going at all. It doesn't matter today. Materialistic value is not important. What is important here is today is that what exactly is the bigger picture, and where exactly the journey is going to end. And how long will the journey will take? So what is required from each individual? So the key factor here will be to get a core team in place, and the team of experts. You need to believe in them very basically. A very trustworthy team has to be there. Give them the kind of freedom that they need to have to deliver. That's the critical part. Money is not. I think that one of the most mistakes people make a lot of times, that you raise money, but you don't get the right team. And if you don't get the right team, the struggle carries on. The organizations don't grow, and organizations flounder, struggle, and maybe at times close down because the team was not the right team. So I think organization building is all about team building. You've got to build a good team of people. It's all about people, Denzel. You have a good team of people, core team of people, and then you expand your team into experts, into some people who take on a second line and a third line, and the organization starts building gradually of people with strength. Really. So I think organization building is all about strength. It's all about your people, and people are your biggest assets there. It's not the capital, it's not your machinery, it's not your building, it's your people are your strength today. And if you get your people, anything is possible. Your people are with you, your team is with you, you can achieve anything going forward.
That's really true. That's totally true, sir. That's really true. Just wrapping it up, because a lot of things we learned from you, Mr. Jha, and there's a lot of things that we want to
Dr. Jha.
Dr. Jha, that I will not miss that again. And we will join again with you on some other topic, and we will again continue this discussion, right?
It'll be a pleasure. It'll be a pleasure, Denzel. Wonderful, because you are such a wonderful person, and it's great talking to you. And I'm sure, as I said, next year I'll be doing your podcast, and we have to be ready with your answers. Okay?
No, and it's really great that my mentor will take my podcast. That's really totally great for me.
No, I will. I'm looking forward to that day. I'm looking forward to that.
That's
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Just before leaving, one thing, just a short final message for our audience. Just a short final message for our audience.
See, one thing I'll tell everybody here right now. Don't go for a easy journey.
Right.
Don't follow the easy path.
Right.
Go for a difficult path.
Right. Right.
Difficult होगा,
right.
पत्थरें मिलेंगी, ठोकरें खाओगे, लेकिन उठने के बाद वो ठोकरें भूल जाओगे, चोट भूल जाओगे, और वो जर्नी बहुत ही मीठा होगा. इतना ख्याल रखो. So आसान सा रास्ता मत चुनो, मुश्किल रास्ता चुनो. एक ही जिंदगी है, उसको give it meaning. जिंदगी की कुछ मतलब होनी चाहिए. It should be worth mentioning to people. मैंने ये जिंदगी काटी है. So make the life meaningful. Make it worth it. Okay.
I will say उसी में मजा है जब when you have ups.
वही जिंदगी है. वही जिंदगी है. Otherwise जिंदगी तो बेकार है.
That's true. Thank you very much, Dr. Jha. और हम फिर we will be again have some other guests and we will learn many things from them as well, and we will again invite Dr. Jha on this podcast for other topic as well. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Tanzil. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you. All
thank
the
you
best.
Very much.
Thank you very much.